Good afternoon and welcome to UMSL Summer Web Series. My name is Stephanie Aldana, and on behalf of New Student Programs, I would like to thank you for watching Move-In Arrival and Survival today. Before we get started, there are a few things that I would like to check to make sure that we're ready to go. First of all, can you confirm that you hear me by typing in the chat window? I can hear you. Excellent, thank you. Can we also make sure that the raise hand button is working for you? Excellent, thank you. And I see that we are all set in the chat room. So today you will be watching Move-In Arrival and Survival presented by Residential Life. We know that through watching this webinar today you will learn a lot of helpful information that will help you here during your journey at UMSL. So with that, I will hand it over to Residential Life, and they will go ahead and begin their presentation.
Alrighty. Hey guys. So I'm Jackie Warren. I'm the Residential Education Coordinator, and I work with the Office of Residential Life and Housing. So in particular, I focus on South Campus, so Oak, Villa, and Villa North Hall. But I can also take any questions pertaining to Mansion Hill as well.
And I'm Mike Gullen. I'm the General Manager of the University Meadows Apartments on South Campus, and I'm here for any questions as well.
So we'll be sharing quite a bit of information with you regarding our upcoming move-in days, and we'll leave plenty of time at the end for you to ask any specific questions that you might have regarding move-in. So the first thing to get out of the way is our move-in dates. So if you're a resident moving into Mansion Hill, you get to move in this Saturday. We're running move-in from 9 to 6. So feel free to come on by to the clubhouse at Mansion Hill, which is just off of Florissant Road.
And University Meadows, we're moving in Saturday, August 15th is the first day of move-in. School doesn't start for a little while after that, so you're welcome to move in any day after August 15th.
Okay. And then for any new students, so those students that this is their first time coming to UMSL, whether you're an incoming freshman or you're transferring in from another institution and you'll be living in Oak, Villa, or Villa North, you'll be able to move in starting Friday, August 21st. On that day, move-in starts at 8 a.m. and we'll run that until 6 p.m. So we look forward to seeing you on that day. It's a super exciting time. There's tons of student volunteers around and faculty and staff. The Chancellor will be making an appearance, so it's a pretty exciting time. And then for our returning students, they're allowed to come back to campus and move into their rooms on Saturday, August 22nd. And similar to the 21st, we'll be running that day from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. as well. Okay. So this is just kind of a map of where our facilities are at, so you can kind of see where you should be headed. Hopefully you can see the cursor on the screen. Let me see the cursor on the screen. Okay. So this is Interstate 70 right here. So just off of Florissant Road there on 70, this is Mansion Hill, the Blue Star. For students coming to University Meadows or Oak, Villa, or Villa North, you'll probably want to take 170, and then this main yellow road here is Natural Bridge. We will caution you that there is a large amount of construction on Natural Bridge right now, so don't be alarmed by that. Starting here at Hanley and then all the way down past the entrance to go into South Campus. They're adding a nice median to the road, so it'll look super beautiful in a couple months, hopefully, but right now it's kind of a mess. So traffic might get a little bit backed up on some of our bigger move-in days, but we don't think it'll cause a ton of issues in that regard.
The one thing you do want to watch out is some street signs are missing at this point, so you might want to use your GPS to try to follow that, to follow the streets, because the street signs are somewhat hard to find or non-existent due to construction at this point.
Right. So the red star here is the Meadows, and then the black star is a general location for Oak, Villa, and Villa North Hall here on South Campus. Okay, so this is a more up close look at South Campus. So again, this is Natural Bridge that you'll be coming in on. Honestly, the best way to come to the Meadows is to turn on the road, the first road to the right after the stoplights. at University Boulevard. So if you're traveling east on Natural Bridge Road, you'll take the first right, and that follows up this road, and then you take a right at the stop sign, and that'll take you in here to the Meadows. Now if you're heading to Oak, Villa, or Villa North, your best option is to go up past where this, we're building a brand new health sciences and nursing building here. Where the construction ends there, you want to turn onto East Drive. Like Mike mentioned, the street sign here, or the sign that says East Drive, is kind of blocked with a large mound of dirt right now. So you'll definitely want to make sure that you're keeping that in mind as you turn right here onto East Drive. If you cross the bridge so that the Metrolink runs underneath, you have gone too far.
Or if you see a police station.
Or if you see the Normandy Police Station on the right-hand side, you have gone too far. So Leaf Goose Crossing Elementary School is right here on the left side. East Drive is directly across from that. So you'll just turn on that and then drive all the way on down here to, this is Oak here, and then Villa and Villa North are right here. So with move-in day, because we will have 250 students moving in on that Friday, plus family and friends helping them. We do have some structure to where you can park at that time. So here on our map, anyone that's living in Oak, Villa, or Villa North, we just send out move-in packets with the same map and all of the same information. So you'll be getting that to reference on move-in day. You can bring that with you. Additionally, this information is on our website as well, but to kind of walk you through the process, we'll have short-term parking here in lot KK, and then also in the back on the back side of Oak Hall. So short-term parking is you'll pull your car up there. We'll have tons of volunteers that will come up to your car, and if you don't receive the labels in the mail or you misplace them, we'll have extra labels. So you'll label all of your belongings, unload them, and then the volunteers will assist you in getting those up to your room as a designee from your family or one of your friends moves your car to one of the longer-term parking spots. So this LT parking spot here is the South Campus garage, so you're allowed to park there long-term or park over here on the north side of Villa Hall in between what used to be the Barnes Library. There you can also park long-term here. So if you're specifically living in Oak Hall on the 1st, 3rd, or 5th floor, you'll want to utilize the short-term parking back here on the back side of Oak, as those residents will be checking in and entering and unloading all of their stuff through the back gate of Oak. If you're living on the 2nd, 4th, or 6th floor, you'll want to utilize lot KK to unload your belongings here on the front of Oak and move in through the front door of Oak. That just helps us kind of streamline the traffic, so not everyone's trying to get through the lobby and move their stuff in. So if you haven't already received your housing assignments, they are up to date at this point, so unless you applied just last night, everyone has been given an assignment, and you can access that information through My Housing, which is a part of My View. And get to know your roommates. Their information is on there as well. All right, so new student move-in is, again, that's Friday, August 21st for Villa, Oak, and Villa North. Check-in starts at 8 a.m. and runs till 6. We'll run check-in through the Oak lobby, so when you come in there, you'll just need to make sure that you bring your student ID with you. We'll get you your keys for your room, swipe your student ID so you have access to the front door of Oak, the wings, and then your respective suite doors, and then give you some other information that you'll need to be successful throughout the weekend in getting oriented on campus. Like I said earlier, and as the pictures note, we have an awesome team of volunteers that come out to help our new students move in. So it's a pretty quick process of getting all of your belongings into the building, and then you start the fun of unloading it and finding the perfect spot for all of that. Like I had mentioned earlier, the move-in packets that just went out in the mail yesterday, within those you will receive a strip of mailing labels. We ask that you utilize those to mark your name and your room on those. So when the volunteers come to grab things from your car and take them to your room, that we get those things dropped off in the right room. Obviously, I think we provided 7 labels. The majority of folks will have more things than 7 labels can be marked on. So feel free to use blue tape, masking tape to mark your stuff with that information with your name and what room it needs to go to as well. We will have about a dozen dollies or carts on hand for move-in day to assist with some of the heavier things. But if you do have a dolly or cart at home, definitely bring that with you because that definitely aids the process of getting your stuff into the building quicker and helping you unload your car in the most or quickest manner. And then if you had come to an orientation and chatted with us, or if you've taken a tour of Oak, Villa, or Villa North, you know that you can't bring a loft in, but we do have lofts that you can rent for the academic year at a fee of $100 that's just charged straight to your student account. We do have a limited supply or a limited number of lofts available, so you will want to arrive early on Friday, August 21st to make sure that you can secure getting one of those because they tend to go pretty quick. Students are very interested in gaining that extra square footage in their room by having their bed lifted up off the ground. Okay, so once you get checked in, all of your stuff out of your car, out of your vehicles, and up to your room, you get your key, you get your card swiped. Here are some things that you'll definitely want to check out or make sure you get accomplished. So once you arrive up to your room, you want to make sure you thoroughly look everything over in the room, open the drawers, move the dresser, move the desk, check out the walls, because you'll be, your RA or your resident advisor will be there to fill out what's called a room condition report with you. So basically we take a thorough inventory of everything in the room. So if there's a scratch on the wall behind the desk, we want to make note of that. Because when you move out of this space, we don't want to have to charge you for any damage or imperfections within the room. So definitely look that over. You'll be asked to sign off on that document, and we keep those on file throughout the year for when you move out. Then we'll go back through and reevaluate that space. So make sure, I can't emphasize enough, make sure that you're thoroughly looking everything over in the room. So that we don't have any issues down the road. This is also a great time to take note of any issues within the room, i.e. In the bathroom. If you go in there and there's not a sink stopper in the sink, make note of that, and you can work with the resident advisor to submit a maintenance request to get that in there so that your room is fully up to par. Of course, we try to take care of the majority of those things before you move in, but obviously there's things that we miss or additional things that you might be looking for that we didn't necessarily consider.
And these are good for all of the facilities, not just for Oak. So every resident housing will have that form to fill out.
Yeah, great note. And then obviously, if you're living in Oak and you'll have suite mates, you'll want to take some time in the midst of unpacking to get to know them, as you'll be spending a significant amount of time with them, and specifically in Oak, sharing a bathroom with them. I don't know if you have any notes on that, Mike, or not. Okay. And then once you get settled in a little bit more, and maybe while your family and friends are still there, if you wanted to take some time and familiarize yourself with where your classes are, where a couple things are on campus, i.e. you might want to check out the bookstore. You can pick up your books for classes from the Triton store, which is located in the Millennium Student Center. Or we just opened the rec center for the first time this week, so that's pretty exciting. If you want to show that to your family and friends, we definitely recommend that. It's a super neat facility that hopefully you'll all be utilizing on a frequent basis. And then we have a ton of activities planned, not necessarily us, but New Student Programs has done a phenomenal job of putting together a really in-depth schedule for you to not only get involved and kind of engraved within the UMSL system and build up that pride that hopefully you'll carry with you throughout 4 years here at University of Missouri, St. Louis. But also a great opportunity for you to meet your peers that are coming in with you at the same time, get to meet some of the upper class students that can really help you through transitioning to college here. So those are the Triton Takeoff Weekend activities, and they also have activities planned for the first 6 weeks of the semester, so you might hear that referred to as weeks of welcome. You also want to stop by the cashier's office, which is also located in the MSC or the Millennium Student Center. Pick up a Metrolink pass. Those are provided to you. You've already paid for them with your fees, so it's a great resource for you to be able to access. If you want to go downtown to do anything, you want to go to the Loop, the Central West End, go cheer on the Cardinals, go Cards. Anything, they also work not just on the Metrolink, but also on the buses as well. So that's a really great resource for you. And if you are bringing a car to campus, you can also pick up your parking pass from the cashier's office at the same time, which is also provided to you through the fees that you've already paid. So within that first week, you'll want to kind of figure out if the meal plan that you selected for you is adequate, or if you want to switch. Because once the second week of classes starts, that's when the opportunity to change your meal plan ends. So within that first week, kind of test out your schedule, your class schedule, see if you're going to be spending a lot of time on North Campus, South Campus. Is it more advantageous for you to have more meal blocks versus the declining balance? Those sort of things. And if you have questions regarding meal plans, I can definitely address those at the end, because I know that there tends to be a lot of questions in terms of, hey, I'm going to be on North Campus all the time. Is it advantageous for me to get a bunch of meal blocks or not? So we'll definitely leave some time for that at the end. Okay, so here are some things that you might want to consider when you're packing. I won't run through all of them by any means, as you'll be getting this document. It is part of the move-in mailer, and it is also listed on our website. But obviously, you'll want to bring your linens for your bed. It is an extra long twin size mattress in Oak, Villa, and Villa North. An alarm clock if that's what you need to help you get out of bed in the morning. I think majority of our students just use their cell phone, but I do know some students that actually bring alarm clocks to set on the other side of the room, so they actually have to get out of bed to turn it off. Toilet paper, rugs, anything that will make your suite feel a lot more like home and not just tile floor. That's always helpful. Obviously, you'll want to chat with your suite mates ahead of time to find out who's bringing what. You all don't need to bring bathrooms, otherwise you might have a shrine in your bathroom and you don't need it to all be carpeted. Same thing with toilet paper. You don't, well,
yeah, you can bring that.
You can all bring toilet paper. They'll probably all get utilized during the year.
You don't need 4 shower curtains.
You don't need 4 shower curtains.
Use them all on your shower curtain usage.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, any electronics that you want to bring, you don't need to bring a huge stereo.
Yeah.
it'll just cause problems. Let's see, any other things that I specifically want to note? Yeah, so that's that. The next slide is things not to bring, so those are maybe a little bit more important. Within Oak, Villa, and Villa North, a small micro fridge is provided for you, so there's no need to bring another microwave or fridge. If you do bring one of those on move-in day, we will kindly ask you to place that right back in your car. To send home, you can't bring any candles, incense, anything that's going to have an open flame, or in the case of like a hot plate, coffee pot, anything that's got an open heating element, then you can't have those as well. UMSL is a tobacco-free campus, so definitely if you do feel the need to use tobacco, that is you have to go to your car and utilize that with the windows up per campus policy in that regard. None of that is allowed within the building. And then no pets other than fish, and they need to be in a 5-gallon or less tank. So, do any of those differ at the Meadows?
We allow pets, so that piece, but there's a pet fee regarding that, but everything else is correct.
Okay. In terms of decorating your room, I know for us in residential life and housing, a lot of folks tend to get the 3M strips. While those, I think, have good intentions, they tend to cause a lot of wall damage upon move out, and so I'm always hesitant to tell folks to use those when hanging things or decorating their space, because you have to be super, super careful when pulling them off the wall, because they'll easily pull the drywall off, which then adds up pretty quickly when you have used 4 of them to hold up a little tiny whiteboard. So I actually encourage folks to use small nails when decorating, because it's a lot easier for us to repair than the 3M strips in that regard. Obviously, you can't have like 200 nail holes, that's excessive, but as long as you're within reason, small nails are honestly the best thing to use. I don't know if you have any comments on that.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay. So once you get here, like I said, you'll have a ton of activities to take part in under the name of Triton Takeoff Weekend. So on Friday, we obviously have our big move-in day for the new students. There will be a parent and family reception held at 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. In a lounge within Oak Hall. So that's a great opportunity for any parents, family, friends to take a break from helping their students unload all of their stuff and come enjoy minor refreshments and just get to know some of the staff on campus a little bit better. If you're part of the Honors College, there's an orientation specific to you in the afternoon from 2:30 to 5, but I'm sure you'll be getting more information from the Honors College regarding that. And then we'll have a welcome dinner in the Provincial House Dining Hall, also called South Campus Dining Hall, that evening, and then there's a big kickoff event and an ice cream social with some of the Greek life on campus. On Saturday, there's multiple sessions for new students, an Olympics competition. They tested out all of the activities yesterday, so it looks like a ton of fun. So we look forward to having you participate in that. And then in the evening, we'll have a big residential life and housing town hall meeting within the chapel. And then following that is the big grand opening of the rec center. And we met about that last week, and there's a lot of fun activities planned for that. It's going to be huge, so you don't want to miss it. And then on Sunday, we definitely have a lot more activities for you to take part in, some building web tours, so if you haven't had an opportunity to find your classes yet, that you can walk around with an upperclassman and kind of walk through your schedule in that regard. And then there's a big send-off in the afternoon, followed by our welcome back picnic, which has really become a major tradition here on campus, and is really, I think, for a lot of students, one of their most memorable experiences. And then classes start on Monday, and there will be multiple resources around that whole week to help you find your way and continue to get acclimated to the college campus. Okay. So before I get into questions, I did want to point out, if you, I assume everyone participating in this webinar is living on campus this fall. If you have not yet gotten your meningitis vaccine, please make sure that you do that and get that health, wellness, and counseling so that you have that on file. Because you do have to have that on file per Missouri state law to live on a college campus. So it's not just us being mean, it is required by law that you get this vaccine. But if you have any questions, health and wellness is actually the best place to go with those questions, as they have the most up-to-date knowledge on the specific strand of the vaccine that you need, and they can take questions in terms of, hey, I got this, but I'm not sure if this works, or if you've already sent in your vaccine records and you're still getting calls from Health and Wellness, or you're getting calls. I know our staff in Residential Life and Housing has been making calls almost on a continuous basis to get folks compliant. If you're getting those calls and you're like, I sent my stuff in, please call Health and Wellness at 314-516-5671 and just clarify with them that they have that and that you are compliant. Because unfortunately, come the 10th day of classes, so a little bit after the beginning of September, if you aren't compliant, Missouri state law requires us that we'll have to lock you out of your space. And that's the last thing that we want to do. That's the last thing that you want to do, the last thing that your parents want to happen. So make sure that you have that taken care of.
If you do get here and you do need the shot, there is a local Walgreens and the Health and Wellness Center is able to provide those shots at a fee as well. So.
Right. So some of the notes with that is, unfortunately, Health and Wellness, they can't bill the vaccine to your insurance company. So if you have health insurance, they can't bill it to health insurance. They can, however, bill it to your student account. So it's not something that you have to cost that you have to pay up front. You could pay it down the road directly through the cashier's office. The cost of the vaccine through Health and Wellness is $110 currently. So I'm not sure what the cost is at other local health clinics or drugstores. But like Mike said, there is a Walgreens just down the street. So if you do have health insurance, it might be an opportunity to go check out what the cost might be through them if they're able to bill it through your health insurance. So, awesome.
Let's open it for questions.
Yeah.
So if you have a question, feel free to type it into the text box, and we will do our best to get your questions answered.
Okay, so we have a question about the name of the vaccine required. So I just called it Health Services right before we did this webinar, and bear with me as I try not to butcher the name of this too badly, but it's called meningococcal conjugate that you have to get. And so there's 3 different brands that you could get. Menactra, so that's M-E-N-A-C-T-R-A, or M-E-N-A-C-T-R-A. Menveo, which is M-E-N-V-E-O, or MC4.
And those are just the brands, that's not necessarily the...
Right, so those are, I guess, the most typical vaccines that are within what's required by the law.
So another question asks, are there any rules on how I can decorate my room? Mike?
We don't have any rules as long as we can walk through your room and it's free of any fire hazards in that regard. And again, candles are a big no-no. Any open flames like incense or items like that are no-nos. But other than that, I don't know if there's anything else you can think of, Jackie.
Yeah, not specifically. I would say some of the biggest things, obviously, like Mike said, is as long as it's not a hindrance to fire safety. So there's not stuff all over the floor, that there's not a safe path to get out of the room. You can't hang things from the sprinkler that's in the room or the smoke detector. Those are some big issues in that regard.
If you have questions when you're there, then ask your RA or somebody on staff and we can clarify for you too.
Like I said, with the 3M strips versus nails.
Any other questions? I do see some of you typing. Okay, someone asked, can I bring my shop records to orientation on August 6th? Or do I have to send it in before?
So that's a great question. Yeah, if you are coming to orientation in the next couple weeks, definitely bring those with you. You'll want to turn them in directly to health services when you arrive on campus for orientation. So we can't take them due to privacy concerns with HIPAA. We being residential life and housing and youth student programs, they need to go directly to health and wellness. And if you have the opportunity, just take an extra minute, have them look it over and sign off that you are compliant, just in case they have any questions or concerns with the documents that you're bringing.
And health services is in the lowest floor of the Millennium Student Center, so it'll be in the same building that you are in for orientation. So.
Any other questions? The question says, will I be able to apply for student loans at orientation? You do have the opportunity to come in and speak to someone at financial aid during your time here at orientation, and they will be better equipped to answer that question for you. So when you do find yourself here on campus, go ahead and make your way down to the financial aid office, I apologize, up on the 3rd floor, which will be where orientation will be taking place, and I'm sure that they will be able to help you with that. Any other questions? Okay. With that, on behalf of Youth Student Programs, I would like to thank you for viewing Move-In, Arrival, and Survival. That does conclude the summer web series. So all of these web series webinars have been recorded, and you can access them on the New Student Programs page. So we do have, from the beginning, brief life breakdown, don't wait until you graduate to look at career services, getting a student life, how to get involved on campus, and of course today's webinar, Move-In, Arrival, and Survival. So if you did miss those, you can watch those online at the New Student Programs page, and they'll be there for your reference. One thing I do want to plug here, there are extended hours which will be beginning in August. So for the extended schedule, and to see this a little bit bigger, it's a little small here, you can go ahead and go to the UMSL New Student Programs Weeks of Welcome page. I have included the link here, but if you go ahead and search New Student Programs under our WOW page, you will be able to see the full extended schedule. Lots of our student services offices, like financial aid, like admissions, the Office of Student Life, will be open later, and so you can go ahead and get whatever you need to get done with these extended hours. So make sure that you check that out. Again, we do appreciate your feedback, so we hope that this experience was helpful for you. We hope that you learned some things that were important that you hadn't heard of. And so with that, we do want to hear from you, so please take a moment to complete this short survey about your experience. The link is here. If for whatever reason the link does not work for you, you can go ahead and access that on the New Student Programs page, on the same page that you used to log into today's webinar. So with that, thank you for watching, and as always, go Tritons!